Could this just be a warning, a coincidence, or a product of a glitch in the program? Why would it predict that? What kind of program is this? Any way you look at it, mark your calendars, December 3rd, 2024. I'm probably not going to keep an eye on this guy because at this point, nothing's going to surprise me. If I look outside and there's aliens in the sky, I'm going to be like, thumbs up, here we go. Maybe it really is real. What a strange world we call a reality, right? Damn it, man.
I've been speaking about Project You Know What since the beginning of this channel, so y'all know how I feel about that. It's up to us to make sure our families and the people around us don't get fooled by this stuff. So we definitely got to. So be looking in the skies around December the 3rd or the 4th.
So John Morgan, the man that exposed who really kicked Joe Biden out of the presidency. Yeah, I'm talking about for running as the nominee against Donald Trump. The actual man, John Morgan, is the actual guy who actually told the truth about it because he's a mega donor with the Democratic Party and they can't say nothing to him because they need his money. Now listen to what John Morgan is about to say. He's about to expose the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So y'all need to listen to the entire video. Here we go.
Stop sending me emails asking for money for the Harris Walls campaign. You spent $1.5 billion in a few months. I mean, did somebody steal it? I've never heard of anything like this. And you're in debt, like 20 million. Nearly $500 million on advertising. But it's these other things we're learning. Giving Oprah $1 million for the production company, 6 figures to build a podcast set for somebody. Where was that offer for the Chris Cuomo project, by the way? Now we're hearing the party can't pay people who work for them, that they didn't get paid for weeks. We had a truth teller on this show, Lindy Lee, member of the DNC Finance Committee. Listen to her.
We are going to keep losing if we don't have a financial accountability and some sort of very serious accounting of how exactly we spent $1 billion. Millions were spent on celebrities, ice cream, private jets. 2.5 million was spent on Oprah. A lot of senior staff were summarily fired. Or told that they wouldn't be receiving any pay last week, and now we see basically massive layoffs.
Never heard anything like it. Joining me now is a man I trust and give to you as a gift, John Morgan, mega donor, the pioneer of legal representation in this country. Just look up his law firm. The name is Morgan, and he has raised a lot of money for Democrats. Happy Thanksgiving, big brother. Thank you very much for coming on this show and helping my audience.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
So, John, I never heard anything like this before. Do you think somebody stole the money?
Well, maybe legally. I mean, look, to me, you remember the movie Mad Max when everybody's just doing whatever they wanted into the world? That's what happened here. All of a sudden, everybody's got the keys to the candy store. Ad buyers, talent, consultants. There's 100 days to do it. And the money started pouring in. Remember this, Chris, it wasn't pouring in for Harris. It was pouring in against Trump. Everybody that was voting and supporting Harris was really voting against Trump. And everybody that was voting for Trump was voting for Trump. So she had all this money coming in. She had all these consultants. And if you don't run the ads, you don't get paid for the buy. They were running ads in Florida, where I live, nonstop. And I'm like, why? I mean, are they running them in Alabama and Idaho too? And I'll tell you why. If you don't run the ads, the buyer doesn't get paid. A $900,000 to put her face on the Sphere in Las Vegas. In the Sphere, the ego, the crazy, the commissions. I was at the White House for a dinner Friday night, talking to a lot of people, and I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of whispering. There's a lot of names about who got paid this, who got paid that. And a lot of people got rich on the back of donors trying to stop Trump. And I think this disqualifies her forever. If you can't run a campaign, you can't run America. And that would be the argument just day one. So it was terrible. I think she did a good job in the debate. I think she did as good a job as she could hope for in a short period of time. I told you, I told everybody, she should not have been the nominee. She was not going to win, and she didn't win, and she lost badly. So she's got to go figure out her life. She's in Hawaii. Tim Walz was at the dinner. She was in Hawaii. So she's having a call with donors this week. They tell me about her political future. I don't think she has a political future. So that's my thought on her.
How bad is this for the party going forward?
It's terrible because when you don't trust, it's like Andrew Gillum down here in Florida. He lost by just a little bit. But the money was, to DeSantis, just a little bit. But the money was so squandered and kept that, and he was going to take all that money he kept and rebuild the party. The Republicans got 1 million more voters now. What happened in Florida is with Gillum is going to the same thing is going to follow Harris for the rest of her career. She cannot be trusted with the money. And the party and the donors are going to be like, where is this money going? Look, the week of the election, a former ambassador called me and said, I'm having a fundraiser, this like 2 days before the election. I said, how can you spend the money? Well, we need it for GOTV. I said, no. I stopped giving once Biden was out, as you know, Chris. I said, that's it. I'm a Biden guy. I wasn't Harris.
Do you think, how do you think Biden feels about the result?
I think he's obviously, he did not want to go. He did not go gently. I said this early on. He did not want to go gently. He nominated her basically. Obama did not want her. Obama did not endorse her for 5 days. Pelosi did not want her. Pelosi told her California delegation, there'll be a conference, there'll be a caucus, there'll be a convention. We basically ran on this deal where democracy, and then we didn't have democracy in picking our nominee.
But why did Biden pick her?
I think it was to say F you to Nancy Pelosi and Barack Obama and every representative that was pushing him out. And if he hadn't gotten out that Sunday, it was going to be an avalanche the next week. Look, Adam Schiff had already spoken. Zoe Lofgren had already spoken. It was just a matter of Monday. And I think he was pissed.
So Obama supposedly was very strong for Harris as his running mate, but did not want her to get this nomination.
Well, the guy who was strong for a running mate was Klain. I was very much against it with Chris Dodd. Chris Dodd wanted Karen Bass. I wanted Val Demings. Biden said, "I'm going to pick a black female." So that was the box to pick from. And Val Demings was my choice. She's from here. Dodd and here's why I said she was no good. She didn't win it. She was terrible in the primaries. She got 8%.
She didn't even make it to Iowa.
She got 8% of she was terrible. We already saw what she looked like on the national stage. Look, she's got to be talented to have done what she did in California. I'll give her that. But she was not ready for prime time. And then they rolled her out in prime time and she got destroyed. And then here's what I believe. I believe look, Walz is a nice guy. He's but I believe she should have picked Shapiro, but I don't believe she did because some people are intimidated by strong number twos. Shapiro would have been a strong number two. The reason companies go bad, A's hire B's, then B's hire C's. Why do they hire B's? So they don't threaten them. So she picks Walz, and he loses his own district in Minnesota. The whole campaign was terrible. It was run poorly. I don't know if anyone could have won at that point in time, quite frankly, but I would like the idea of Gretchen Whitmer and Shapiro as a ticket just to see what would have happened in that blue wall.
John Morgan, I love you. Thank you for the inside scoop. I'm thankful for you in my life. It's great to have you as a new friend. I'll be talking to you soon.
Come to Florida and fish with my son. He's got a big boat. He wants to show you how to fish.
Done. I need to learn. I will call you. I'll be down there in a couple weeks. Take care.
He was correct. If you can't run a campaign, you definitely can't run a country, because a country is totally different from running a campaign. And I agree with him when he said Biden endorsed her at the last minute to say F you to everybody who wanted him out. And that's why he's doing what he's doing with the wanting to start World War III and all this stuff right here. Because it's a F you. Like, you guys wanted to do this? Okay, I got you. I'm gonna put us on the brink of war before I get up out of here. And he know he's old and he doesn't have long left, so why not go out with a bang? Literally.
Bro, what is that?
There's a third one.
Yo, look at this shit on the camera. Why is it two different colors?
Bro, I am.
There's a third one.
Oh my god.
What the fuck is going on?
Oh my fucking god, dude.
There's a plane coming underneath it, so it can't be.
No, that ain't no plane, yo. You can see a plane. We just got a plane cut. It's flashing. Oh, we got a plane. That ain't no plane. Bro.
Take still shots too.
What the fuck is that, dude?
Why the fuck did they just?
It just made a perfect triangle. It made a fucking triangle.
Bro.
Whoa, bro. Oh my god. We actually caught a fucking UFO.
Yo, what the fuck is this?
Oh my god.
That's a real shit.
Oh my god.
We almost left too fucking early too.
I told you, motherfuckers.
What the fuck is in it?
Oh, they're swirling around.
Are they gonna lie back?
Oh my god.
What is going on right now, bro?
Oh my god.
I'm fucking tripping.
Jay,
Oh.
what are we seeing?
I don't know.
Dude, now that one's.
And now the top light is brighter. That just
Oh, yeah.
and see how it's positioned perfectly at the.
And that one at the bottom came up.
But here's the thing. These are not flashing lights. Like, there are no runway lights. These are... Oh my god.
The plane, is that a plane with a red light going to the left?
No. That's the
There's
one
a
of the
plane-
dots.
There's a plane up to the left and
No,
further.
yeah, the ones to the left there are. Yeah, I didn't see that one. The bottom one though is just sitting there now.
Bro, how did those two lights come together like that?
Oh yeah, the other light's not. It came as one.
Yeah, they lined up like.
So John Morgan, the man that exposed.
Bro, what is that?
There's a third one.
Yo, light is brighter. That just.
Oh, yeah.
And see,
One though is just sitting there now.
bro, how?
Now, I got word from one of the subscribers out there, but shout out to them. They told me that there was orbs over Washington, and I'm thinking this may be the video. I might be wrong. And also got word that they're planning on using Project Bluebeam between December the 3rd or the 4th. So I'm here to tell everybody that's watching this video, and y'all need to tell everybody else. During those times, if you see anything weird in the sky, do not be fooled, okay? Do not be fooled, because they're doing whatever they can to throw off this inauguration. And YouTube, this is for entertainment purposes only. Nothing I say on here is true at all. This is just for entertainment.
Oh yeah, the other light's not. It came as one.
Yeah, they lined up like this in a pyramid. Then one took off, and then that one's
And
directly
you got that
underneath
one
it.
on the bottom there, the red one.
But doesn't it seem like,
What the fuck?
yo, in the top light?
Oh, it's
doesn't it seem like the one's
it's
getting
moving.
higher?
It's moving.
It is getting higher. It is getting higher. I
It looks
finally
like it's
see it.
moving. Yeah, I
That
see
shit
it.
is getting higher.
What the fuck is going on,
'Cause look
dude?
how close
It's
it
getting way higher, bro.
What the? Like they separate, like they came together and separated.
Yeah, they are together.
And that top light is getting higher because now the one is.
Oh, it's coming towards us. That's coming towards us.
Now the top is coming towards us.
Oh, it's way higher too. Remember how close it was to the tree line?
Yo,
Bro.
that shit is coming towards us now.
You should see it zoomed in. The light
It's
is
coming
beautiful.
towards us.
Dude.
What the
Bro, why
fuck?
am I nervous?
Because it's my ever UFO coming towards us.
Yo, we have to sit here until it comes.
I mean-
We got like 10 minutes.
Hey,
What the fuck?
it's coming towards. Dude, that motherfucker is flying towards us.
Yo, that shit is going fast.
What is going on,
What?
dude?
It's gonna be above us.
Look at the fucking phone. Look at what kind of shit is this.
Dude, that thing is way above us.
Man, I wish I can call everybody, tell them come on. How was that a plane?
What? It's like a little disc, dude.
Oh, it's coming. Look, it's coming. Like that motherfucker was way over there. It was sitting there for how long?
Wait, listen. Shh.
So there's no way anybody had this on their 2024 bingo cards. You're telling me that because Joe Rogan interviews Donald Trump in 2024, that means that 39 days later, we're going to have some kind of alien warfare in the sky? Are you serious? So in 1997, a guy named Cliff Lee develops this software called Webbot. This software started as a tool to predict and analyze market trends, analyzing massive amounts of data and predicting the stock market. And it did that. Webbot predicted stock market trends, but one thing that it also predicted, this software claimed that a global military scenario involving UFOs, or UAPs, whatever you prefer nowadays. Military scenarios with UFOs. Humans versus aliens. It predicted that battles with UFOs will be breaking out all over the sky. That's absolutely insane. Webbot didn't just throw this out there. It just didn't, hey, one day this is gonna happen. No, this prediction came with a very, very specific timeline. According to this software, these things are not gonna happen until 39 days after a specific event. So what could possibly trigger such an extraordinary chain of events? A catalyst for battles in the sky between the United States Air Force, maybe the global Air Force at this point. The specific event would be an interview, not just any interview, but an interview with Donald Trump sitting down with Joe Rogan. That's right, the interview. The interview of 2024. The prediction stated that 39 days after this hypothetical conversation, that chaos would erupt in the skies all over the world. In 2009, Joe Rogan didn't have a podcast. I don't even remember what he was doing. Was he still doing Fear Factor? So if you happen to be playing along at home and you're trying to Google when the Donald Trump or Joe Rogan interview was, so you can calculate what 39 days is, I'll save you some trouble. December 3rd, 2024 is the date. Did you have that on your 2024 bingo card? Honestly, did you have any of this on your 2024 bingo card? Whether or not you believe any of this, Webbot, I had never even heard of Webbot before. Could this just be a warning, a coincidence, or a product of a glitch in the program? Why would it predict that? What kind of program is this? Any way you look at it, mark your calendars, December 3rd, 2024. I'm probably not going to keep an eye on the sky because at this point, nothing's going to surprise me. If I look outside and there's aliens in the sky, I'm going to be like, thumbs up, here we go. Maybe it really is real. What a strange world we call a reality, right? Damn it, man.
And that was the infamous "damn it, man." And he's talking about the same thing I was speaking on. So, I mean, you guys got to stay vigilant. Keep your eyes open. And don't be fooled, okay? Because I've been speaking about Project You Know What since the beginning of this channel. So y'all know how I feel about that. It's up to us to make sure our families and the people around us don't get fooled by this stuff. So we definitely got to. So be looking in the skies around December the 3rd or the 4th.
We're kind of preparing the U.S. population, at least, and by extension, the world population, into that reality that there is a presence here, and that we need to explain this presence. Because if they show up and we continue to do what we did before in previous decades, and they show up, there will be mass panic. But if you understand that these are real, and we have 5 years from 2022, well, maybe now 4 years, if they come in 2027, for the U.S. government to prepare the people about what is up there. And in many ways, I think the word got out within the government that they're showing up in 2027, and we better be prepared. And if not, there's going to be a lot of explaining to do. And so I think that dialogue has happened within, inside the government, in certain areas inside the government, that we need to prepare. And that's why in 2017, that set a clock of 10 years. And why Lou Elizondo earlier in this year said, just find a hobby for 5 years, and it'll all be out in 5 years. And he said that this year, so that was 2027. Huh. And I would say I've heard 2027 in a kind of an official capacity that I can't reveal. So I think I would say that people in the government are aware of something happening, and that there's limited time, a few more years to prepare the people, and that's what's ramping up this acceleration from the previous 7 decades of not even acknowledging it to now we are acknowledging it at a faster and faster pace.
Okay, so he's saying that if we do see something on December the 3rd or the 4th, it's them preparing us for what's really here. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one right there, but we shall see, right?
Oh shit, this is fucking cool! Whoa, holy shit!
Este es el cielo ahora mismo aquí en Paipota. Nunca había visto.
Oh, what the fuck is that?
Canada.
Y'all see that though, right?
All right, America.
We over here. And look, it's lit. The UFOs by the moon.
Man, somebody tell me what this is.
The UFO by the moon.
So I'm outside on this beautiful night looking up here at the moon with my camera, and I want to show you guys something pretty interesting. With this long zoom camera, whenever you zoom in on the moon, look at all the detail that you can see. And they tell us that the moon is 238,000 miles away. But they also say the furthest we can travel is in low Earth orbit. So tell me, if we can only travel in low Earth orbit and the moon is 238,000 miles away, tell me how we went to the moon in the first place.
The Earth is flat, birds are government drones, and we've never set foot on the moon.
Well, I've always said that about the moon. I've always known that we can only travel in low orbit. I know that they've never been to the moon. This is just for entertainment purposes only. But if you go beyond that, your ass is fried. I just believe that. And what people don't really understand is the reason why you have some cameras that can zoom in and see the moon and some telescopes that can zoom in and see the moon is because the moon is huge. It's huge. It's not as big as Earth, but it's huge. Huge enough for you to see it and in detail. And I'm pretty sure that if you were on the moon and used that same camera to zoom in on Earth, you would see similar details.
Anything inside those orbs. I think they're autonomous balls of plasma. And if we have that technology, there's a lot of tough questions are going to be asked. Like, where did we get this technology? How long have we been hiding this technology? What does this mean about our reality if we can just have 3 orbs spin around a plane and then poof, it shoots through, let's say, a wormhole, because that's what I think we're looking at, and goes to a different location on Earth instantaneously. Like,
if that's real, they definitely got some explaining to do, because what in the heck? What in the heck, bro? Did y'all just see that plane on that? I don't know if that's a thermal camera or what, but did y'all see that plane just poof, just go through a wormhole or something? And not to mention those orbs that were around it. Now, the thermal camera could be fake. I don't know. I question everything, but I don't know about them.
They told me they were making a hybrid race.
And for what?
They didn't want. I wanted to know for what, but they never gave an inkling of what it was for, of what this hybrid race would be doing, where it would be, or what. My grandfather died in 1940. So this was in the 1930s when these things were happening with them. She said they would be sitting on the side porch at night and they would see lights over the oil wells. And a lot of times they would see what they thought were little children dressed in white running around the oil wells. And on several times they saw it in the daytime. They would see these little children dressed in white. And once or twice they got up to go see if they could catch the little children and find out who they were, and they would start out, but by the time they would get there, the children would be gone. Their main concept was creating a hybrid breed. At least that's what they told me, that they were trying to create a race of people that could live in our atmosphere and in their atmosphere. And they had not yet produced that person. Now, on another occasion, I remembered being shown a baby that really favored my grandson a lot. If you would, give it the slant eyes, they weren't as big as their eyes, but it looked human. And I knew that this was my child. And I wanted to take that child with me, but they said that it would not be able to live in this atmosphere. It's not really a frightening experience. It's just, it happens, and it doesn't leave you frightened. I think the thing that frightened me the most was that I was not consciously aware of what had happened, and I did not know what to put these ships with. I didn't have anything concrete to say, well, they're coming to do this or that. I just had the frightening feeling. And after I found out what had happened, I was at peace with what had happened, knowing that there's nothing that I can do about it, because I cannot stop them. Nobody can stop them from doing what they want to do. Nobody on this earth, because they are too far advanced mentally and technologically for, we don't have a defense at all.
It's like they do magic.
Yeah, they could come in today and take over if that was their desire. But like I said, I don't feel that it's their desire to take over through violence, and they don't care about governments. See, government control is not their thing. They want bodies, and they want minds that are going to do what they want the minds to do, but they need the bodies to do whatever it is with. And that's where we come in. They told me they...
Anything inside those orbs. I think they're autonomous balls.
They told...
You know what? It kind of makes you think that, you know, if she's speaking this story, right, about these beings coming here and they're trying to create a hybrid race, then it kind of goes back to the Sumerians or the Anunnaki and how they came and they created a hybrid race. But it was for something totally different at the time, and because they needed the gold. We were a planet rich in gold, so that gold is what could save their planet. So they used us to harvest the gold, right? And she says that the beings that she encountered or her family members encountered were here to create a hybrid race that can survive on their planet and this planet in both environments. Then it kind of makes you wonder whether it's true or not. It's probably for real. And they said that these people look like kids playing in white clothing, right? So this doesn't necessarily mean that they were grays or anything like that. They could have had like suits on that made it possible for them to survive in this atmosphere. Like, we don't know. But I don't know, man. I'm just pondering at this point. What y'all think?
You know that declassified CIA document that says we live in a holographic reality? That the woman's womb is a portal? That you can literally send your consciousness to anywhere, whether it's past, present, or future, through astral projection and remote viewing? Yeah, well, the reason why the CIA was looking into this, because of this man. This is Robert Monroe. My previous video was all about him. He was born in the 1900s and he was a very successful businessman. Around 30 to 40, he started having these spontaneous out-of-body experiences. They freaked him out. He thought he had brain tumors. He thought he was going crazy. Every doctor he went to said he was perfectly fine. So he used his resources to hire a team of scientists to run experiments to figure out if what he's been experiencing could be replicated. He wanted to see if they could map out and explore as much of consciousness as they could. This is Thomas Campbell, an incredibly gifted physicist who was part of Bob Monroe's team. Campbell is very famous for his works in applied physics and metaphysics. So why did he want to work with Robert Monroe? When he was in college, he had some monks that came who offered to teach people how to meditate if they brought them a piece of fruit, I believe. He had time to kill. He thought it was going to end up being a scam. He gave his banana, and it was a life-changing experience for him. Being the scientist that he is, he was trying to figure out how to explain what he experienced, and he couldn't. So he got a job and continued to meditate. One day, he heard that Bob Monroe was coming into town talking about the out-of-body experiences that he's had. He with some coworkers went to go listen to him. Monroe mentioned that he was looking for scientists so that they could test what he experienced to see if they could replicate it. Campbell was like, I'm a scientist. I'd love to work with you. But you see, Campbell was still relatively young. Monroe was looking for older scientists that had some credibility to their name, who had a track record, but none of them wanted to work with him. They all thought it was woo-woo nonsense. Campbell and a couple of other young scientists joined the team. Campbell's biggest focus was to bring scientific validation to everything that was being done. He wanted to demystify the mysticism. He wanted to use the scientific process to explain everything. So they studied it systematically. They were able to separate genuine experiences from anecdotal claims or misunderstandings. His book, My Big Toe, which documents the entire journey, freaking mind-blowing, guys. Freaking mind-blowing. For example, in the East, they talk about these sacred mantras, sacred words that if you repeat can take you to higher states of consciousness. What they found through testing is that it's not specific word, but rather the tone, the vibration that it carries. I believe in the book he says you could even say something like Abba-bardi-dum, and just repeat that. You can achieve the same thing. It honestly is one of the most fascinating books I've ever read. It bridges the gap between science and spirituality so well. It doesn't stop there. He describes his journey of being able to access higher states of consciousness, the interdimensional beings that live in a higher vibration than we do, spiritual guides, if you will, he met and the teachings he got along the way. You know how there's a declassified CIA document that maps out the Galactic Federation? Yeah, well, some people have experience with it. Craziest thing too is you only have access to it if they let you have access. He described one journey where he was meditating and basically there were two beings. They're like, hey man, you're where you need to be with your progress. You can't do this anymore. And he's like, the door was sealed. He wasn't able to access those states of consciousness for 20 years until someone reopened it. The reason why he called the book My Big Toe is because these are the things that he has learned through experience. And his only objective is to lay out the information so that other people can gain knowledge through experience, which of course experience is the greatest teacher. So what does Thomas Campbell say that this life is? Oh, he says it's a simulation. Yeah, he says we're in a holographic reality that is a projection of consciousness that you are both a creator and participant in. You ever had that experience where you're like, man, this doesn't even feel real? Thomas Campbell has something to say about that.
And you know what's even more crazy about that is I speak about that all the time, is how we create our own realities. Because if you ever astro projected, I have before, then you would know the difference. You would definitely know the difference. To know that there are existence, there is an existence on a higher level of consciousness that we can't see because we're vibrating so low. It's hard to believe, but it's true. This is where spiritual comes in. And once you leave this vessel after death, then you go back to that. But this is why the memory gap is so far away as far as a bridge goes, right? This is why it's so far away, because low vibrational consciousness can't remember when they were just a spirit. But if you practice these mantras and you practice meditating, you can get back to that. And then once you get back to that, once you pass away, I believe that you will be able to remember this experience, this life experience, once you get back to the spiritual realm. And once you revisit this reality again, because I believe in reincarnation, once you visit this reality again, you can remember all of your past lives. Because there are so many people who say they have had dreams of them being in the 1900s and before, and all of these different things. Those aren't coincidence, people. That was you. You lived in another time. That is your consciousness trying to reconnect. And it's trying to tell you to, get on your mantras and your meditations to figure out who you were in this past life. I could tell you all of my experiences, but a lot of people would probably feel like I'm crazy if I did. But that's another story for another time.
How would you feel if your employer came to you, laid you off without little to no notice, without severance pay, and you haven't been paid in weeks, and right before the holidays, and then they turn around and go on vacation? Well, this is exactly what Kamala Harris did to her campaign staff, which is the DNC staff, right before she went on vacation to Hawaii. They ended up having to create a GoFundMe account in order to raise $25,000 so that they could get paid from the weeks that they wasn't, because they didn't even get severance pay. Despite of the campaign that raised $1.5 billion and is in $20 million in debt. Now y'all 91%. Now I'm talking about the black women that voted for this so-called black woman. How would you feel if that happened to you? Now y'all want to be upset with me, but this is not even information that is even coming from the right. These are mega donors that has a complaint, and they are furious, along with the workers of this campaign. They are furious about the way that Kamala Harris has been handling the campaign funds. And if that wasn't enough, she sent 14.
But y'all believed in her though. I said it on this channel that she didn't even have the decency to concede after losing the election and left all those people out there. All those people, all of her constituents. That told you what type of person she was right then and there. Of course, a lot of us that know, we already saw what type of person she was from the beginning. But all of the warning signs, they just ignored it. What you expect though?
Tink, and I'm talking about Tim Walz, to a donor dinner, the Democratic donor dinner, to try to plead with these donors to give them more money in order to pay for their vendors, and their staff. So she didn't even have the respect enough to go and at least face the donors to donate more money to cover her expenses. Instead, she sent Tim Walz. And y'all still out here pissed off, mad that we didn't vote this woman in office, when she clearly has shown that she don't give a damn about nobody but herself. Because she's vacationing in a $7 million resort, paying $1,300 a day for her vacation, while all hell is breaking loose with the DNC and these families that can't even feed their families for the holidays. This would have been exactly the way she would have ran the country as president. Tim Walz would have been the one to be coming out to the public more than her, because she has an elitist mindset that she doesn't have to answer to anybody, she doesn't have to do anything, and she can pretty much do what she wants with no accountability. Why? Because she's a so-called black woman. And y'all sit here and want to talk about racism. No, again, like I said, it's not racism, it's entitlement. Now, I want to hear from the 91% of the black women that voted for Kamala Harris that was okay with mass genocide of babies, illegal immigrant gangs taking over the black community, men in women's restrooms, gender-affirming care with medication and surgery for children, black men being thrown in prison, World War III on the horizons, trans competing with women for your man, the legalization of drugs taking over the communities, the black women that was okay with being an enemy of Jesus Christ because you had endorsed all things that was unrighteousness by way of witchcraft, and are okay with everyday American families struggling due to inflation and high costs, just like these staffers will have to do for their Thanksgiving holidays. I want to hear from y'all, because this is everything that y'all wanted us to vote for.
I'm so glad we didn't vote for that, but she's not gonna get no answer from them. No, the left has been extremely quiet since all of this stuff has happened. And if there are some out there still defending the left, they just maybe a few of a billion, because they know they're wrong. They know they're wrong, man. You're not gonna hear anything from them. A lot of them people that voted for her are saying, I can't believe I almost voted that woman in there. They seeing all this stuff that's happening. They over there saying it right now, I guarantee.
UFOs are swarming military bases again. 2 in the last 2 days. It's been confirmed by the State Department that V-22 Osprey and Apaches have been deployed from RAF Middlehall last night for yet another fleet of UAPs. Each one is much bigger than a car, and there's a ton of them. And that old V-22 Osprey couldn't do anything about it. These are ET, they're not drones.
I'm telling y'all, just be prepared for what you may see. That's all I can say. Well, I'll say this and I'm gonna leave it here. Y'all see all this stuff that's coming about now? Like they can't get World War III started. So what else we're gonna do? We're gonna fake an alien invasion. That's what I think. Fake an alien invasion, and we're going to scare the people to hell, right? And this is going to cause mass panic, and Trump won't get inaugurated, right? That's the plan. This is for entertainment purposes only, though. So I'm telling the people, I'm telling everybody that watch this, you know, if you know people that haven't already heard this stuff, share the video, let them know, put them on top of everything that's going on. So when it does happen, if it happens, but when it does happen, they won't be shocked. They can say, well, my mom or my dad or my uncle told me this, or my aunt told me this, or, you know, or Bo told me this. So we got to keep people aware of what's going on. And that's just what it is, y'all. We're living in some crazy, strange times. But no stranger than it's already have been. It's just that we have more access to more things, and now we can see for ourselves. And a lot of this stuff we're not ready to see. Well, a lot of us not ready to see. So the only thing that we can do is do what we're supposed to do to ensure that that guy gets inaugurated January the 20th. That's it. And it doesn't mean it doesn't have anything to do with any violence or anything. But get the message out. That's all we can do. Get the message out. And look, I could rant, but I won't. And with that being said, do what you will with that information. And hey, If you like what you saw, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you know when I upload. Get in the description, follow all of my social medias, and remember, channel's the argument and not the person. If you want to see more dope videos, you already know what to do. Click on my last one.